I started my day very early. I checked my email. Of course, coffee got me going into a lot of it.
During the training, my day started pretty much right away in the morning. I wanted to make sure I was up and ready to go with whatever needed to be done and start the day as if it was a regular business day.
My mornings, because I had to get my son off to school first, sometimes we had early mornings with the mentor meetings. Sometimes the meetings were not too early, but I realized that even apart from the mentor meetings, some tasks were sent at 7:45. It was a struggle most mornings, but I had to. And then next thing, you're running to your laptop. Is there anything there? So my mornings were active.
Oh my God, what time is it due at? That was my first reaction. Then I would see what area of law was it related to. If it was family, civil litigation, I would calm down. If it was criminal, I would be really, really nervous.
It was always a bit of excitement, but apprehension because, of course, you never know what you're going to be asked to do.
How I reacted when I saw new correspondence or another task. Honestly, oh, here we go again. The next reaction was, when is it due?
Well, it was interesting hearing the voicemail messages in the correspondence. Being able to actually hear the emotion of what the clients would be feeling really got you to understand the situation even better and be drawn into it.
Look, it's Andy. Where are you? Look, I tried calling you and I thought you said you were always available and you would be there for me. Look, I can't believe this. I've been arrested and I'm at the cop shop. Man, you've got to come and get me out. There is no way that I can stay here. Stupid, trumped-up charges. You know, I think they arrested me for breaching my release because I wasn't at 123 Main Street. What's that?
Receiving emails from senior partners, I had a rough outline that I would say, that I would pick up and then I would start from. If it was a family law partner, if it was a civil litigation, criminal, business law, I would work from out of that draft that I would have already set up for myself.
My favorite thing about the Candidate Cafe, it was a resource to go to that was fairly immediate because a lot of the candidates were posting in a timely fashion, and so it might be a way to get an answer faster.
If you have a question about any part of the president, somebody obviously had a question on Candidate Cafe, so you can go there. And most of the time, Gina will respond to those questions, then you know what the response was, and that will help you in knowing how to make use of the precedent that we're given.
I did make time to review the professional topics before the meetings with the mentors, not only for my own benefit, but to make sure that I was able to partake in the discussion.
The most challenging part about performing research memos was making sure that I was able to access the resources that would most appropriately fit whatever the research was requiring to be done. The most difficult, I think, is just making sure you are taking the appropriate tools and putting them together in a coherent manner.
For me, it is part making sure that you've done enough. There seems to be this apprehension that you might be missing a key piece of legislation or maybe a important case, and so there has to be a time when you cut off the research and start writing, and sometimes that balance is hard to find.
So what I did was I went to a Government of Ontario Office of the Attorney General website, and then find out you can get the docket, I think, a day ahead or maybe the same day, and what particular, if there is bail court, if there is, so you find out what time are they going to be having a, bail hearing today. So I plan myself to go that day. And then with the tribunal, I call them up on the phone and say, you know what, I'm a LPP student, I want to observe this, what type of matters are you going to have today? And they will advise you accordingly, and then you make arrangements to go.
I worked around my LPP work schedule. If I had something due in the evenings or if I had a meeting in the afternoons, I would go to the court early in the morning, which was usually the best time to visit a tribunal or do a court hearing for bail or any sentencing hearings. So I always had my tribunals and court hearings in the mornings.
I actually enjoyed the weekly conferences with Chris and Gina. It was an opportunity to discuss what happened during the previous week, and whatever questions anybody had, it was expressed to the whole group, the whole LPP group. We had the chance then to kind of look forward and see what was the week likely to come ahead, so get ourselves mentally prepared for what kind of tasks we should be kind of thinking about, or what kind of resources we should have at hand so that we can readily apply it when the assignments were brought forward.
The information that I sought out to help with the business proposal was actually to go into my own bank, and I spoke to a small business advisor there and asked about what kinds of things were generally put into a business proposal, and where I could acquire some of that information, and she was quite helpful.
The most beneficial resource was friends and family. They gave us good and sound advice, quick, and told us how to go about our business proposal.
Communicating with my virtual firm members, we communicated in a variety of ways, by email, phone, text, just whatever would be most convenient.
Primarily communicated via email, worked very well, but we also did phone calls. We called each other almost every other day, just keeping updating each other what we had done, what we had completed.
I remember the wills and estate one. I must have watched the video like 10 times, You miss something, you're able to go back to it again, and I found those to be very, very helpful. They kind of provide the guidance that you need. You've never done this before. You went to court, you've seen it in action, but you don't quite understand it fully. So when you watch these seasoned people, lawyers that have been practicing the field for a long time, they guide you through it.
It was so incredible, I really can't put it to words, because they were telling me some things that took them 10 years, 14 years to learn, and I had a head start on that. But you really don't realize that you're learning so much ahead until you get into the workplace.
I docketed every day. What I found actually to be useful is to have a kind of paper on hand, because depending on whether I was by my computer or if somewhere away from my computer, I would always be able to have like a notepad at my side or my pocket. I can just quickly jot down what I was doing and how much time I spent, and then at the end of the day just kind of put it together and then add all the totals into the Clio system.